In this video, I'm doing a Don't Tread on Me inspired AR set using a special edition Aero Precision lower and their enhanced upper and handguard combo. Today, I'm only using three colors: gold, savage stainless, and cobalt. The first color that I'm spraying is gold, and that will be the main color for the stencils. And those stencils are only going to be on either end of the receiver set. So I'm really only spraying the outside of the receivers near either end. Now I only do spot painting like this if it's the first color, and the second color or coat will cover everything on top of that, or like a fade pattern or something. I would never do this over a cover coat because I would be concerned about a color going through more than one flash bake cycle having adhesion problems to another color sprayed over top of it. I'm building this set to have an assembled upper and include most of the small parts for the lower. I'm spraying the barrel gold to accent the stencils, and we'll do all the smaller parts later. There are a decent amount of stencils for this, and I missed filming the flag stencil for the left side of the receivers, but it's not like you can see a whole lot from this angle anyways. I kind of have to find a better spot to put cameras for filming stencil work. For the rest of the stencils, I decided to take camo blobs and cut them as just their outlines. The topographic map style has been a pretty popular look recently, so I thought this might be an interesting take on that design. I might work on refining the pattern a little bit in the future, I don't really know yet. Most of the stencils were a little annoying to deal with. The transfer paper I'm using might be a little bit too sticky, and they didn't always want to come off of it very well. But without it, the lines just wanted to twist and stick to themselves, so kind of had to deal with it. For the main color, I'm using Savage Stainless, which is probably my favorite of the mid-silver colors from Cerakote. This time I am spraying all of the insides of the receivers and the handguard and getting a good cover coat on the whole outside. And I'm using cobalt as the background color behind the gold stencils to give it a really good contrast. The original plan was just to spray the ends of the set with cobalt, but I ran into two problems. First, the stencils took a little bit more room than what I was picturing in my head when I started. And second, I didn't really get the same coverage on the lower as I did the upper, so the lower had a bit of gold showing through the color. So I just decided to blend the cobalt a little bit out farther just to hide that. I used one of my freehand stencils to get the blended edge to break up a little bit. I didn't want to have just a straight faded edge there. So as I was doing the last faded edge here, I just kind of had a spur of the moment thought to fill in the middle with more freehand. I just kind of kept going with it. This wasn't part of the original plan, and I do like it better this way. I'll probably do maybe a whole AR set kind of like this, or a pistol or something in the future. The next step is to color fill the engraving on the side. This is the bit that makes the lower special edition, and I really wish I had more of these, so it'd be really cool if Aero could, make more of these. I did get the color fill pen from Cerakote, and this is the first time I'm using it. Before I just take like a toothpick or something and dip that in paint, dab it in for a color fill. And this worked a lot better for the bigger areas. I am going to have to practice with it a little bit more, get a little bit more control over it for like smaller text or small areas. Here's a quick view of the set at this point. The main pieces are done, and I did put together a small parts kit to use for this set, but at this point I hadn't really decided what I wanted to do with that yet. I took a couple days to figure out what I wanted to do with the small parts. First, I had pictured them being all gold, but I was concerned that would be too much of an accent color. Then I thought about doing them cobalt, but the took less to black, it would just kind of blend in and not look special or anything. So silver was the only choice left. And the day before I came in to spray them, I kind of had the thought that I might as well do the silver parts to match the middle section that has that freehand design on it. So I'm doing that. Using the freehand stencil with these small parts made me once again think about how much I really wish I had a tail to help me hold things. It'd be very useful, seeing as how the paint gun liked to blow the small parts around, so I kind of had to hold the stencil and the small part in one hand while using the paint gun in the other. And if I had a tail, it might have been a little bit easier. It's kind of crap that the monkeys got to keep their tails, but somehow in evolution it was decided that the apes didn't, and since we come from apes, we don't get no tails. Monkeys have tails and they love it. I would also like to have a tail. If some scientists out there comes up with the idea for like a bionic tail or something like that, I will sign up immediately for your trial. See, right here, watch me kind of struggle to hold on to it. If I had a tail, it would have been a little bit easier. Now I got it. I held on to it with my hand, two things in one hand, but a tail would have been just a little bit better. That's all I'm saying. I want a tail. And now it is finally time to put it all together. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see any more of my work, subscribe here or follow me on Instagram at atgunworks.llc.